Hi guys, Miss Durdle here with another video about the Component 3 Eduqas Drama exam and how to approach it. I'm starting by doing exactly what I'd expect you to do in the exam by highlighting all of the command terms so it can direct any of my answers. I'm now imagining I've answered the exam, I've got some feedback, I'm going to go through the questions to see if I could answer them better this time. So question 1, 2 marks. And it's focusing on you as an actor. So I've circled the word you, and I know that those 2 marks are going to come from 2 statements about how Ted would enter the scene. I've already highlighted movement and gesture, so that's a mark for 1 of each. Part 2 of this question asks for the reasons, so I'm justifying 1 sentence for each of the statements I've just made in the previous question. The next question, also worth 2 marks, asks you to describe the relationship. So the first sentence is going to include adjectives to describe the relationship. The second sentence will be a tiny bit of explanation about what's going on in the scene. We're then on to part 2 of this question, worth 4 marks, where you're explaining how that relationship could be communicated to an audience, and it's between the 2 actors on stage. So to get those 4 marks, you're going to do 1 thing twice. And that 1 thing is, what is the skill they're using? Is it tone, pitch, pace, volume, etc.? And the second section is an explanation. And once you've done that twice, you should have the 4 marks. For the next 4 marks, you are no longer an actor, you're a designer. And you have 2 props that could be used in this extract. You have 1 sentence, which is the prop itself and a tiny bit of description, so maybe an adjective. And the second sentence, when it's used. If you do this twice, then you've got your 4 marks. Now you're asked to explain how the actor would utilise these props in the extract that's been given, including your reasons. So again, you're doing the same thing twice, once for each prop. You'll describe how the actor is using them and say why it would enhance the performance. Do that twice, that's 4 marks. Now we're moving into longer answer questions. This one is worth 12 marks. It's again as a designer, but this time you're thinking about lighting and sound in the extract. You need to consider the atmosphere, your ideas for lighting, your ideas for sound, and how both of those things were used in the original production. I'd start with lighting, because as a whole, that's what we're strongest at. Start by thinking about your lighting choice. Is it a Fresnel? Is it a Parkan, etc.? Think about colour, shape, intensity. Is it a soft edge? Is it a hard edge? And then talk about the effect that it creates. Why does it enhance the scene? Then move on to sound. Sound choice. Is it on stage? Is it recorded? Think about volume. When is it going to be used? Again, think of the effect that it creates and then why it enhances the scene. That's your 12 marks. I've spoken about this next question quite a bit. 15 marks, you as an actor. Start with your character motivation. What do they want? What's their objective? Refer to the scene. Then talk about vocal skills, pitch, pace, tone, etc. How does it link to their motivation, to their objective? Think about movement. How are they going to move to show that intention, that motivation? And then last but not least, interaction. How will they interact with other characters on stage? Great key term here. You think about eye contact, think about proxemics. All of it is linking back to the character motivation. Section B, I'd recommend answering the acting question, either vocal or physical or movement skills. Think about the extracts or the number of extracts that it's asking you to talk about. That's when you decide which play you're going to analyse and evaluate. They need you to talk about the acting style, how the skill is used to create character and communicate meaning, and your response as an audience member. That's the evaluative part, and it's worth 15 marks. Paragraph 1, your introduction, should include the theatre it was performed in, the director, the named actor that you will talk about, the date at which it was performed, and the type of staging. Is it traverse? Is it in the round? Is it proscenium march, etc.? The second paragraph, or the first paragraph of the main body of your answer, should be the example scene 1. This question asks for vocal skills, so therefore I talk about perhaps tone and volume in this example. In the next paragraph, when I think about a second scene to answer, I'm going to choose different skills to show the examiner I understand lots of key terms and I can use them appropriately. The last paragraph, tiny bit of conclusion and an overall evaluation. You should be evaluating throughout and analysing specific moments that the key skills are being used, but at the end it doesn't hurt to have an extra sentence with evaluation.